Hi gems, it's your girl Ambra here and welcome back to my channel. I've been talking about this on my Snapchat for like a week now, and I've just finally found the time to sit here and film. As you can see, I've already done my eyes off camera, and I just used my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I used my Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture eyeshadow palette, and I just used Morocco, Fudge, and Noir. The end. And then in my inner corner, I used a little champagne pop, but these dark circles are insane. And even though I want to do a first impressions, first review of this new product, I need to conceal. There's like no way in hell I can just throw this on. But you know what? We'll play it by ear. Maybe the foundation will give me enough coverage and I won't have to. But what we are talking about today, we are talking about Hourglass Vanish foundation stick, seamless finish foundation stick. I received this in the mail from my influencer kit, and it came with a full-size foundation and a really nice like bronzy copper packaging, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's triangular, and it's a foundation stick such as this. You take the top off and then you just twist and you get your foundation product. It's about 0.25 ounces, so great for traveling. Less than your typical amount in your liquid foundations. Let me see. Yeah, you get about 30 mil. No, I'm sorry. You get about 1 ounce with liquid, so this is well under. But they're attesting to it to being a contour stick, highlighting stick. It can be concealer all in one, but primarily for foundation. So they give you this little postcard to speak to the product, and it says a revolutionary foundation stick with the coverage of a concealer, the fluidity of a liquid, and the weightlessness of a powder for undetectable full coverage. So that's a lot. That's a lot of claim to fame, in my opinion. And I've never once used Hourglass product. Not a highlighter, not a blush, not a lipstick. So this is not even their primer. So this is going to be a first for me for the brand as well as this foundation stick. So you get the stick in the color of your choosing, and then you also get the foundation brush, and this puppy comes in a very similar box as the foundation with a nice little cover, and it's nice and like solid, very dense. It reminds me a lot of my Morphe M439, the density, but just not the width of that foundation brush. But it just says to apply as you would your foundation using the preferred stick. And this is about $42 at Sephora, which is, I had to let you know whether or not it's something that I would invest in after I apply using it. But for brushes, I'm just a Morphe economically approach to purchasing, quality brushes. So we'll see whether or not it's necessary to spend $42 on the foundation brush, especially when you can get a $20 beauty blender, which is my favorite to apply foundations anyway. So I got the color Walnut based on like Skin Test or other colors that I've purchased in the past. So we'll see how it works. I haven't even touched the tip of it because I thought maybe I did a spot check, but I didn't, because I've just been waiting to get on camera with you guys. I'm going to start with doing a primer because I am leaving the house in a bit and I ain't doing no makeup without no primer. Okay. And I've really been loving my Tarte Clean Slate primer. I do have my YSL primer too. This is a really good, smooth finishing. Smells really amazing for feeling like a rich. Okay, but in those everyday use, honey, Tarte does it for me. As you can see, like I'm almost gone. Like I'm using like corners at this point. But you know, I just purchased some because Tarte had a friends and family and I got 30% off. So I'm just applying this in my T-zone area. It's not that hot in Washington right now. And when I mean like people from Washington are dying, but I'm an East Coaster and I take it as a blessing. It's not sweaty balls, got an attitude the moment you get out of a car kind of hot, you do. And another reason why I really like this primer is because not only is it pore filling, but it's very mattifying. Do you guys hear that? I think my husband's taking a bath and running the water, and it's just that loud. So pause until he's done. I'll come right back. I just don't want it to be that loud. All right, Jim. Sorry for that small intermission. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So I just, last where we leave off. Tarte primer, done. I love that it's pore filling, but I also love that it's mattifying. So it's a twofer, you know? I mean, I guess I just haven't been using my backup primer because it's almost too thick. All right, so let's just jump into the foundation. Again, as I mentioned, I'm in the color Walnut. I'm just going to apply it directly onto the skin. I haven't put on any concealer because I feel like that'd be a false representation of the product, and I want to see what true application and coverage it is attesting to, and especially in my areas that are dark. And I just did a simple smoky eye. I am wearing my Vegas nail lashes from Glamour lashes. All right, let's do it. Ooh. So first strokes, I'm panicking a little bit because I feel like it's super bright, but I'm not. Oh my God, now Lola wants to bark. Like, why doesn't anyone want me to win? Okay. And then I'm gonna do 2 up top and 1 down the nose. I look like that Snapchat filter, like the bee. I've been obsessing over it. I really like the voice changing capabilities. All right, so with the Hourglass foundation brush, I'm going to go ahead and buff this into the skin. So applying it first on the right side of my cheek, it's a little difficult to buff out with this foundation brush, to be quite honest. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest of my face and be right back. Same areas and buff it back in. Gems. This ain't it, boo. Granted, the color is way too orange and I feel like an Oompa Loompa. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to finish my face. But even if I had the right color, that took a lot of damn work. My wrists hurt. Like, I have a legit ache from trying to buff this into the skin. Like, it needs to just be a concealer and stay in its lane. Foundation stick? Like, that's a lot of damn work. That's too much. And to be quite honest, this is giving me overrated all day, every day. So I'm just going to finish. I'm going to be salty. I'm going to use for concealer today. I'm going to use my Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Camouflage Plus Corrector concealer. And this is in the color Deep. It's the darkest that they have. But I just feel like my skin looks so crazy. Good thing my husband loves me regardless, because if this was a first date, I'd be like, hey, boo. He'd be like, are you from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my Beauty Blender and get this going. For contour today, I'm going to use my Black Up Cosmetics contour stick in the number 4 and just use the dark side of the stick and apply it into, apply it along my cheekbone and definitely this forehead. You see me trying to make this thing work. You see me trying to make it work. Ooh, I'm going to do a little on the jawline too. Buttercup setting powder for my under eye concealer. I like to put a lot of setting powder under the eye whenever I'm wearing a smoked sunken lids. So I always like to highlight under my eye a little excessive. To set my contour, I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour powder in the color Carab. And I'll just be using my Sigma, I don't know the number, F40 angled brush. To set my entire face, I'm going to use my Studio Fix Powder by MAC in the color NW48 and use my Real Techniques brush in 100 to also brush away all the excess powder. Because I used quite a bit of setting powder under my eye, wow, that was so obnoxious. Because I've used quite a bit of setting powder underneath my eye, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of my eyeshadow just to give back that smoke that I had. And I'm just going to be using my Anastasia shadow in the color Morocco. For my mascara on my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. For my bronzer, you guys know I use my CoverGirl Ebony bronzer, and I'm just going to use my flat powder brush from BH Cosmetics and bronze the skin. For blush today, I'm going to use Sleek Makeup's blush in the color Life's a Peach. For highlight, I'm going to use my Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette and just use the color Champagne Pop. For the lip today, I'm going to use MAC Kiss Me Quick and CoverGirl's Collection and Jubilee. Ooh, it smells good. Ooh. And then I'm going to set my whole look with my Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. Alright, gems, so let's keep it real. I did a little finagling with my other face applications, with my contour and my highlighting. I can't say that I hate the color matching because it did settle a bit in my on my skin, so I do feel like it did oxidize and went a little bit darker, which is what I specifically needed for my complexion. This is driving me crazy. Okay, let's just buff that. But whether or not I would go out and purchase this myself, I personally would not. I just felt like the application took way too long to blend into the skin. The brush, although beautiful, I feel it's not necessary. Like, you can get the Morphe brush for like 16 bucks or use a beauty blender for 20 and save yourself half the price. I mean, because this is 42 bucks. And I feel like it took a lot of work to buff this in. I'm telling you, my arms still hurt. So whether or not Hourglass has amazing products, I'm sure. I do feel like this does give decent coverage after 2 applications. The first round was a complete and utter joke. It does make itself available in 26 shades. They do suggest that you prep the skin with a primer, which I did, and apply 2 or 3 dots. Nah, that ain't the truth. So it's saying buff it in tiny circular motions. Just prepare yourself. It's no different than if you have to buff out a sick ass smoky eye. Like, prepare yourself for that kind of wrist cramp, because your whole face, which is a larger circumference than your eyelid, that was a lot of work. I just feel like it was a lot of work. So to each his own. Those who love the product, do you boo, as Maya would say. But I just feel like I appreciate the opportunity to review it. I do feel like it's a beautiful product with some work. But I feel like, why should you have to work so hard to make a product work, essentially? So, yeah, if you have any questions, definitely make sure you put those in the description bar below. I'll definitely be mindful to reply to everyone and all your questions. I do feel like walnut is a decent color, because I feel like the shade darker, which I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, would have been too dark, because then once it oxidized, it would have been like, okay, like amber underneath the equator sun, and I'm just not that anymore. I've already adjusted back to this area in which I live, so I'm not as dark. So I do feel like the walnut is beautiful. I do love that it has a powder finish. You guys, I just am not a fan of like application. Like, I need something, because I like to put most of my detail and time into my eyes. The foundation should not be this damn hard to buff in. I don't know, maybe we need to apply some oil. I'm gonna work through my own issues. But until our next videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you soon. Bye.